Welcome to the next edition of the Foundation Speaker Series. My name is Elizabeth Rosales. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Erica Waller-Hill, who is the owner and founder of Destined for a Dream Foundation and Speak Life LLC, where she has helped thousands of youth and young adults find courage, purpose, and the tools to help them thrive in society. A Bucks County native herself, Erica received her formal education and furthered her studies at Weiner University in Chester, Pennsylvania. During her stay at Weiner, she studied early childhood education and liberal studies with a concentration in applied supervision, as well as achieved a master's degree in administrative education. Erica has appeared in Ebony Magazine, the Philadelphia Inquirer, Rolling Out Media Company, Bucks County Courier Times, and many television and radio shows. She is also an Olympic hopeful at heart. Erica, thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Why don't we start off and why don't you tell the audience a little bit about Destined for a Dream? What is it and what services do you offer for the youth in your area?
So Destined for a Dream is a nonprofit agency. We were founded in 2008, and this week we are celebrating 15 years. So Destined for a Dream, our mission is to empower and inspire youth and young adults through education and life coaching. So therefore, we have served over 45,000 young people, agencies, community centers. We do a lot of public speaking to go around and share the goodness and to share empowerment. So not only are we a mentoring site, we're also a tutoring facility where we tutor the babies. I call all of them the babies, even if they're 12th grade, they're the babies. Where we have been tutoring for the amount of time that we have been in existence. And we have a program called Literacy First. So it's a reading enrichment program. So what we do is we take the students, and basically students are referred to us. Agencies know about us, school districts know about us, and they also know that we work a lot and alongside of students with special needs, such as an IEP for emotional or learning deficits. So we take the student and we try to do the best that we can to help them in partnership with the school. What's really big with that program that's under Destined for a Dream is that the school works alongside of us. So if we have the student twice a week, the school has them 5 days a week. We have them 2 hours a week. The school has them 30 plus hours. So we want to bring the gap, close it, right? And we want to be accessible to the parents, which we are, and as well as the school. So that program is Literacy First. And we basically start at the age of 5 with that program. And then we go beyond sometimes high school. But for right now, we kind of work with students up into the 10th, 11th grade. We have a specialty type instructor that comes in for math specifically for our high school students to help with that calculus, that pre-calc and geometry and algebra, because a lot of those numbers and that kind of information is on their ACTs and the SATs. So one of the curriculums that we stand by and we love, and we don't use the complete program, but is the Wilson Reading Program. So that's Literacy First. And then the other program that's under Destined for a Dream, because there's two, is Dream Academy. Dream Academy is an accelerated college preparatory / trade school enrichment program where we focus on what is the next move, 9th through 12th graders, and we navigate them through. So we take them from bringing trade schools in, we take them on college tours. We have monthly sessions for the course of maybe 8 months where we sit with the students, and it's like in a classroom setting, and we have special guests that come out and talk about mind and beyond, because mental health with our young people is on the rise. A lot of it is coming from COVID and those babies being in a different world. We all were in a different world, right? So we all had to figure out how to cope. So that's one of the bullets for our program. It's called Mind and Beyond. And then we do college and career. And then we do financial literacy. So we hit various points. There's one more point that we also hit, but we hit various points throughout those 8 months. And we stay on that topic for maybe like 2 to 3 months. We bring in sororities and fraternities. We partner with the area banks. We partner with the area colleges, such as the community college, where I'm an adjunct professor there. So Bucks County has been wonderful in assisting and helping me with that. So that's Dream Academy and once they graduate, so many of them start with us in ninth grade. Sometimes the parents find out about us when they get to the 11th grade, but we still continue to keep them in the program and sign them up. We accept them throughout any high school year that they're in, but typically they come to us in ninth and they finish with us in 12th. We graduate them off and we follow them for the most part throughout their college journey. So if they need us, they reach out, Miss Erica, we need help with books. We need help with financial aid. We don't understand the FAFSA. We don't understand this. So we take them through all of that and advise them properly in getting to that. So that's a little that, Liz, I just gave you a little of what Destined for a Dream does. We, outside of the program, when we're a resource. So if a family is having a hard time with groceries, we reach out to Johnny. If they're having a hard time with prom gowns, well, we get that kind of stuff donated to us brand new all the time. So shoes, menswear, like so many relationships that we've been a part of, especially our Philadelphia sports teams. They've been so awesome to us in the past 15 years. So that's a little bit about Destined for a Dream. Our mission and our vision is basically to see the inevitable, that these kids and these young people can achieve whatever they put their mind to.
Wow, that's fantastic. That is quite a wide range of services that you provide. And so I take it that it's an all year type thing. It's not just during the school year, right? Like
No, it's all year. And last year was the first year, however, that because we moved to a bigger location, we stayed in the same suite, the same location, but we moved to a bigger suite because we needed the space. Right now, we still have 100% graduation. So last summer was the first summer we didn't hold Literacy First, the tutoring. So we kind of were a little bit, we didn't want to, because we know learning loss in the summer is high, especially if we're already experiencing learning loss from COVID. So we didn't want to shut down, but we did because we had to move our location in May and June. So, but we're year round. There's something going on all the time. I try to come up for air, but I always keep saying greater is coming and never become weary in well doing. So I just keep moving. So yes.
Well, that's amazing. That's awesome. I'm sure many people have benefited from your services. So just to switch gears here a little bit, now about you, Erica, growing up, what were your interests? Did you have a clear path to what you knew you wanted to do, or was it a little bit more roundabout? How did you know this is what you wanted to do?
Well, I think it was, for me growing up, there were some awesome times, and just there was also some uncertainty. That's with any teenager, right? Growing up, because I was so tall, I'm 6'3.5". So I'm so tall, right? So in the hallway, coaches, right? Let's basketball, let's get her for this, let's get her for that. And you're really not sure, what's really going on, like your career path. You know that you're good in this, but there's that other piece, right? I'm a student. I was a student athlete, and they go together. So I was an athlete, but I was also a student. So with that student piece, what do I want to do? So I always, and I stick by this, I always wanted to be a pediatrician. So I always knew I wanted to work with children in some capacity. But I think what happened with me is I realized that going to school for that amount of time was just not the bigger picture for me. It just was not. But get this, here we are almost 30 plus years later of me being out of high school and college, freshman on college campus. And I am currently in school right now for my doctoral, right? So it was always in me, but I guess I just in the beginning just was not, I didn't see it. I didn't, so it was always to work with children. And then I knew athletics was always a big part of what I do daily. Working out every other day, still, having some knee issues now, but sports was huge for me because it kept me focused and somewhat balanced. Although I was not as disciplined as I have had wanted to be, but it kept me solid, I would say. So I think that was more so my career path, going into something with children. And then, I tried my hand at track and field in the seventh grade. And from seventh grade through ninth grade, I had the record at my middle school. I think I still have the record. I'm going to, now that we're talking about this, I'm going to have to go check that out. But I threw the shot put and I threw the discus in middle school at the time that you couldn't throw the discus because of the danger of it. You had to wait till you get to high school. So I followed my path with that, and I knew I was district champ in the state of Pennsylvania. I was district champ for 2 years, 11th and 12th grade, and then was ranked like number 4 or 5 in the state of Pennsylvania for 2 years. So I knew personally that the gift was in me. I had a gift. It just was going to take the right individuals to pull it out of me because I was capable and my parents were awesome and keeping me focused, but I just knew that I had more. So that is when, over the age of 30, right, I go and try out for the Olympics, knowing that I had just had the daughter that's here today, I was not feeling well. I had just had her cesarean section. So if any, understand this as a female, when they're cutting into your stomach, essentially, those muscles. So that's where I'm getting to. Those muscles, they don't just snap back. And a lot of times when you're throwing that shot put, it's coming from your core. So the doctor really was like, okay, you're 2 months out of this, but okay. And he said, Erica, I believe you will do it. And my doctor released me. And then that's when I began training. So there's a whole story to how all of this, my training name was, because you had to come up with, Blue Lightning, So my training name was Destined for a Dream. That's where Destined for a Dream Foundation came from, me training and trying my hardest to get to the big stage in 2008 for Beijing. And then when I didn't make the grand stage through trials, tribulations, financial hardships, because I had to fund myself until like Nike or someone would pick me up. But if you continue to have injuries, those New Balances and Nikes, they're not going to pick you up, so I had to fund this journey alone with some fundraisers. And so that's where Destined for a Dream, the name came from and all of that good stuff. So.
Wow, that's amazing and quite the story.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, you came so close, but you've also achieved a lot in your lifetime, so far. You still have a lot more to achieve.
Yeah.
But up until this point, like, what do you feel is your highest achievement? You've been featured on many programs, you're an author, a motivational speaker, you're a CEO, a founder. So out of everything that you've done so far, what would you consider to be an achievement that you're the most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of being a mother and a wife. Mm-hmm. Because what comes with this, right? It's so much, but if your home and your house is not in order, you can't fully function and move forward with what you need to do. Just like if my daughter is not feeling well, I know my responsibilities, but I also know that I need to make sure that I am present in every situation with my children. I have 2 juniors, a junior in high school and a junior in college, 2 girls and a husband of 25 years this year. Wow. So I know that my family is my first ministry. They come first. And if because it's almost like I go out here and I do all this public speaking, right? And I empower people. Let's go, get ready. And I have all of this energy. Like right now I'm sitting down and I'm fidgety. I don't do this, Liz, like sit in a chair and Zoom. Like I need to be in person with my hands or something. But I have all of this energy to give to others, right? But it must start in my home. My home is where my first ministry is. So I think though that's the most proudest moments that I've been able to navigate. Keep my head up, my chin, not even the whole head, just the chin, well, that would be the whole head, but like just trying to keep your head above water while trying to navigate your children, helping out your spouse, and just really navigating the whole family through this thing called life. I think that's, and still be successful. So that's, I think, one of my proudest moments. It's not being in a magazine. It's not these degrees. The degrees will just solidify me really doing this work, but it's more so being able to have a family and being able to navigate them through this too. I want them to be, I tell my kids all the time, like, I want you guys to chart your own path. I understand mommy has done this, and daddy has done this, but I want you to be who you are and be able to know who you are and identify with who you are. And it all, then we just go from there. So that's one of my proudest, I think, achievements.
Oh, that's so amazing. I just love that. I can tell, just talking to you, your passion and your love is just, it exudes out of you. And, you touched a little bit on, your passion, but why don't you tell us a little bit, what motivates you every day? What do you feel is your purpose in life? I know, you're passionate about your family, you're passionate about the youth, you have all these passions. So what is it that motivates you every day? And what do you feel is your purpose in life?
I think what motivates me every day is that I can wake up and walk. And, I used to take that for granted because, Liz, growing up, my mother would get up and she was very, spiritual, right? So she would get up and she would say a prayer, and her prayer would be to God, thank you for waking me, giving me the activity of my limbs and keeping me in my right state of mind. As a child, I laughed. I was like, your limbs, keeping you mentally sane. But all my parents kept saying to us, keep living. Keep living. And you're going to, in a moment, understand what that means. So I think through my trials and tribulations of back injuries, through all of the training in basketball and all of the Olympic stuff, my back is done. My knees are full of fluid every other day. So I think my motivation is to get up and be able to, when I'm teaching as an adjunct professor, I taught this last week. I wanted the students to identify their why. Never forget your why. And my why is always present, but for me to be able to get up and walk out the front door, take my vitamins. I mean, I'm a diabetic. I've been a diabetic for, I'm going to say 35 plus years now. And for me to be able to be on a regimen and be able to know when sugars are high, low, and still be able to work out and function throughout the day, that's important to me. So I think that's what motivates me. And just really going back to what my mother said, thanking whoever that person is that you believe in, whatever higher power that is, being able to have peace and just being able to be thankful for the activity of your limbs and that you still have your mental health. So.
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic. Kind of piggyback off of, you're talking about your mom and how much, that influenced you. So what is the best career advice or just any advice in general that you have received? And what is your advice that you would like to leave with the future generations?
I think be present. Be present. I don't mean run up to the stage as a young person and say, I'm here, everybody see me, I'm here. No, I just mean be present, be in the room, take it all in. The individuals that will be before, the young folks or you young people, they're going to give a plethora of information, and it's so valuable. Take it and use it how you see fit, but use it for the greater good of humanity. It's so important to, and even as older, adults, you never can stop learning. I feel like I am a lifetime learner. So that's one of the things that, I instill in my home. Be present. Be present. And then another thing I would also say is what motivates you, and what are you able to do that you enjoy and you want to do it for the rest of your life. Never get into something where you wake up every morning and you totally are like, this is for the birds. I'm not doing this any longer. So I always stress to my students, especially those who have families, because I work with from kindergarten all the way and beyond into the 60s, age 60, and I go out and I empower women and men and all these different individuals. But I always let them know, don't be so hard on yourself. You're going to make mistakes, but make sure, like I said, that you're in a room, that you're present, and that you have, and that you love what you're doing, because that's going to make all of the difference. And like I was saying, telling individuals that maybe have families or may not have families, but need to pay their car note, or you need to make sure bills are paid and you're single and all of that good stuff. Make sure in that process of that, you may have to go and get a job, right? That you just like, oh, I'm so sick of bagging groceries. I'm so sick of working at this auto body shop. But you're doing what you need to do for the now. Never forget your purpose and what the future could look like for you, because you're going to get to where you want to go. There just may be some steps and some hurdles, because I didn't just arrive yesterday, and I still have a ways to go. So that's some of the advice. Just be present, do what you love, and and all of that good stuff.
That's amazing advice. Thank you so much, Erica. I really appreciate it. You've got an amazing story, and I enjoyed our conversation today. So thank you so much for joining with me today. Appreciate all the information you have to share.
Yes, you are quite welcome. Thank you for having me once again.
No problem. If anybody would like to reach out to Erica to learn more, her contact information will be provided following this interview. I know she'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.